I'm going to say this now. I would appreciate the comments stay relevant to my art that I worked very hard on and about the characters I talk about specifically. I really don't want any essays about unrelated topics or character discourse or suggesting shows for me to watch. I just don't want that sort of vibe in my comment section. The more you nag me about watching a show or, pressing me on my opinion on a topic, the less I want to interact, the less I want to, talk about it. This is my video. I just want to throw my thoughts out there. I just wanted a reason to draw my favorite characters. Please keep your comment relevant to my video specifically. And for my sanity and for the enjoyment of others, be respectful in the comments, don't be rude, and don't, some critical thinking is going to be needed here. To start off with this video, I want to set the scene for how I see a character. Oftentimes I've seen when I say, oh, this is my favorite character, a lot of people think that means that I like the character as a person. Generally speaking, I think that I would not get along with my favorite character just because usually they're quite immoral and not the type of person I would want in my life. So I do not see characters as people. I very much see them as a fictional piece of a story. I see the reason why I like a character oftentimes is the role they play in a story, how they react to the characters, dynamics, what their impact is to the main plot and stuff like that, or even just as for just the shallow reasons that they're really cool. I like their powers, I like their design, stuff like that. I do not see them as people. I do not treat characters as people. I do not, I do not, if one of my favorite characters gets killed, I don't suddenly get upset and then like, oh, that character who killed my favorite character, I hate them because they killed my favorite character. No, I don't. I'll be sad when my favorite character is dead, but often than not, I'll be like, okay, how is this? I see it from a storytelling perspective. I very much treat characters as part of a storytelling perspective, but I do connect to characters with certain personalities or who deal with things a certain way. Things like that. There's some characters that I do sort of tend to drift towards more because they have a personality type that I find more interesting, or that I would be like, yeah, finally somebody's doing, this, that, and the other. But I do think I do have a pattern of characters I like. I like gruff, buffed dudes usually. I think it also depends on the show and what there is to offer. So, sometimes I like the cinnamon roll of the show, sometimes I like the badass villain, and sometimes I like the morally questionable one. So it really depends on what the show has to offer, even if I do think I do have a sort of genre of characters I tend to drift towards. How the challenge works is that I asked a bunch of people on Instagram to give me a bunch of shows, and from those shows I choose my favorite characters and I draw them. There are three categories for those. There's shows I haven't watched, shows I'm aware of and have watched a little bit of, or I know a little bit of, or I just generally know a little bit about, and shows I actually know very well. When it comes to characters from shows I don't know, or from shows I know a little bit of, is usually from my first impression of them and their synopsis. So, basically what their short description says about them and their character design is usually what I'm going for. And also just based on the general vibe I get from them. So if I see a character has like, I don't know, white hair and has anger issues, that one's going to be my favorite one, that sort of thing. For the characters I actually know, I'll give you a more in-depth explanation to why I like them, if there even is an in-depth, explanation. For some of them, it's just, I like their hair. So, we get real shallow with some of these favorite characters. The art style I chose for this one was a sort of sketchy painted style. Mainly because there was no way I was going to do a fully rendered drawing for all of these characters. There's too many characters. But it was also just fun for me to play around with a bit of like different painting pens and stuff like that. So yeah, so just so you know, the style I chose is specifically sort of like painted sketch style on purpose, just to save me some time. Just a couple warnings before we go ahead. There'll probably be a lot of spoilers. I might say some spoilers for various shows accidentally. So if you see a show come up, especially in the I haven't watched show category, I might accidentally spoil some things. If like a character is a surprise villain and stuff like that, I might say some stuff and not realize it. So if there's a specific show you see and you don't want to know anything about it, just skip it just in case. I don't want to accidentally spoil anything for anyone. So yeah, just be careful of that. I may not be aware I'm spoiling something. Another thing is I did not grow up with TV for many years of my life. I mostly watched things off of CDs and VHS growing up. So oftentimes if I didn't physically own it, I didn't watch it. And even as a teenager, I mainly just watched, some anime I could find online. So I didn't have any streaming platforms or any TV that I could, actually watch things on that were currently popular. So if you're outraged about a show I don't know, because they're like, oh, this show's really popular, how come you haven't watched it? Remember, not everybody grew up the same as you. Some people had different circumstances. And also remember, I'm in my 20s. So something you think, oh, well, I grew up with it. I didn't. I was older. And just younger, just keep that in mind. Also, will I ever watch the shows I haven't watched? I don't know, maybe. I'm very bad at just sitting down and watching shows, as any of my friends will tell you. Maybe some of them, if I'm motivated enough to watch them, I might watch, but don't keep your hopes up, is what I'm gonna say. And lastly, if I mispronounce any names, my apologies. I just be like that. Amphibia, Mr. Bunchoi. He seems like a wholesome dad character. His design is very cute. The Backyardigans. Austin. Purple Kangaroo. Enough said. Black Clover. Kabwe Kurilin. I like his design. He's a minor character with very little screen time, but I liked his description and synopsis. He seems simple yet intriguing to me. Sometimes that's all you need for a favorite character. Brand new animal. Alan Sylvester. Manipulative villain vibes, so he has that advantage. Love me a good suave villain type, and I like his animal design. Bungou Stray Dogs. Adam Frankenstein. He's inspired by Frankenstein. What is there not to love? I like his design. He seems very badass. I want to read the light novel for him alone, but I guess I'd have to know the entire series to understand his story, so that might not happen. Chainsaw Man. Kishibe. Secretly a badass old man vibes. You know the type. Oh, he doesn't seem threatening. Oh my god, the main character's dead, sort of thing. He gives me that vibe, so I love him. Also, old gruff man. Love him. Classroom of the Elite. Ken Sudo. His design is cool. I like his hair and his overall delinquent vibe. Seems like he has a tragic backstory of some sort for sure. Daria. Trent Lane. Piercings, laid-back musician type. I like him. Demon Slayer. Doma. I'm aware he's some powerful big bad guy with certain, habits, so of course he's my favorite. I like his creepy expressions and overall attitude. It clashes with his demon nature and I find that intriguing. Apparently the King of Demons doesn't like him because he finds him a nuisance, but Doma is too powerful to get rid of, so I find that also very interesting. Love me a character no one canonically likes. Fairy Tale, Sting Eucliffe. I first found out about him when I came across his team's theme song. Sabertooths are my favourite prehistoric animal, so I like his team, and his outfit is very cool to me. I like his overall design. Fruits Basket. Shigure Soma. Dad character. Enough said. I don't trust him though. He looks mischievous. Gravity Falls. I don't know why me not watching this one caused such a stir in the comments, but yeah, guys, I haven't watched it. And the more you nag me, the less I want to watch it, so keep your opinions to yourself. Cheers. Anyway, Ford Pines. Gruff old man. Moving on. Inside Job. Ron Statler. He looks like a twat. I like him. Inuyasha. Suikatsu. I like his design and I found his synopsis really interesting. Love me some feral characters. Kirby, Meta Knight. I like the armor and overall design. Love after world domination. Fudo Akawa. Absolute himbo of a man. He looks gorgeous. I love him. One Piece, Zoro. Muscular swordsman. He gives me the dad type character vibe, but that he's also a total dumbass in his own right. I like him. Over the garden wall. Word. A little cutie pie. I wish to protect him. Give him a blanket and hot chocolate. Adorable. House, Alla de Blight, tired gruff dad character. Pokemon XY. AZ? I don't know. Long white hair and overall cool design. His synopsis is really interesting. RWBY, Nicholas Schnee. Santa Claus-inspired fatherly old man. He may have zero screen time, but I love him. White hair and beard. He's great. Tokyo Ghoul. Tatara. White hair, red eyes. It has always been a weakness for me, character design-wise. Also, he's an antagonist. He has all the advantages. I like his mask. He looks dainty, but like, he kicks butt. Tokyo Avengers, Keisuke Baji. He looks like he's constantly ready to fight, and I love that for him. I like his fangs and long hair, and I do prefer his manga design over the anime one though. Wolfsrain, Quent Yaiden. Secretly a badass old gruff man. Love that for him. Avatar: The Last Airbender. Sokka. From the episodes I've watched, his character really charmed me. I like his personality a lot and he's really cute. Jojo's Bizarre Adventure. Dio. I read some of the manga and seen clips. Dio is a very cool villain. I like him in part 1 especially, and I love his fangs. This one was really fun to draw because, man, Jojo's art style is so much fun. Kakegurui, Ibara Obami. I've seen clips and understand the overall plot. This show is certainly something. I like Ibara's whole style, he stands out, and I like his synopsis and overall personality. I want to floof his hair. Lego Monkie Kid. Sun Wukong. The animation in this series is amazing. Sun Wukong is very interesting to me. I like powerful mentor-father characters like him. He's goofy, but then when stuff gets serious, oh boy does he get serious. And that's fun. I like his design, very squishable. Pokemon. Skitty. The only reason Skitty is my favorite is because I saw a fight scene of a Skitty who kept getting beaten down, but despite being overpowered, kept getting back up and fighting back. I can't remember if it won or not, but little baby me thought that was very brave and cool of the little pink cat. Also, pink flower cat. I like the pink flower cat. Puss in Boots: The Last Wish. Wolf. Scary, intimidating wolf villain. I love it. The animation is freaking awesome. Star versus the Forces of Evil. Eclipsa. Her design is so pretty. Powerful mum character of tragic story. I like her a lot. Also, her voice is gorgeous, very soothing. Teen Titans. Slade. I like Deathstroke no matter the media. He's big, he's scary, he's intimidating, he's a big gruff old military man. I love him. Steven Universe, Jasper. I don't particularly like Steven Universe, but Jasper is very cool. I like her design. Her being super strong, big and tall is something I like too. She gives me Marvel Comics Sabretooth vibes with her color palette and role in the story, so that adds to it. Danny Phantom, Vlad. I watched the show as a kid. Villainous old man. I liked his fangs and design. He's cool. My Little Pony, Rarity. Very pretty design, and I like her development and overall personality the most. She's dramatic in the funniest of ways. Ben 10. Ben 10,000. I adored this show as a kid. Dad character with a beard. Enough said. Rise of TMNT, I cannot save a long-term name, it is an absolute tongue twister. Raphael. The show is okay, I like the animation the most, and the movie is amazing. I like the anger-prone brother with sharp edges. Go figure. Phineas and Ferb, Dr. Doofenshmirtz. Who doesn't love Doofenshmirtz? Bluey, Bandit and Juno. Best dad character and only child who struggles to connect to kids around her. Also, Chow Chow, very cute dogs. I have a little bit of a headcanon that Juno's parents are divorced and that while she does visit her dad, he's maybe not the best dad that, he could be. Which is why Juno likes to play with Bluey because Bandit's an awesome dad that she maybe doesn't have. Anyway, I hope we see more of Juno. Wolfwalkers, William Goodfellow. Dad character trying to do what's best for his daughter. Are you seeing a pattern yet? Also, his wolf form is awesome. Balto. I love all the characters, to be clear. I love them all. But Steel's design is just too cool. He's particularly intriguing visually. Hunter x Hunter. Kite? Kaito? Kite? I don't know. I've read all the manga and watched part of this anime, so I know what happens. I like his design a lot. His long hair, hat, and overall silhouette is very cool. I don't usually go for slender characters, but he's always been my favorite. Food Wars, Shinomiya. I used to collect the manga and watch the anime. I like his design and overall role in the story. Also, he likes French cuisine and France in general, so that makes my little traitorous French heart happy. Shinomiya has a few character quirks that are very charming, like his relationship with his mom. I like his outfits too. The Disastrous Life of Saiki K. Saiki. Unusual case of me liking the main character who doesn't fall into my usual favorites. The English dub of this anime is so freaking funny, and I like Saiki and the others a lot. He's fun to draw and his personality and development are great. Exorcist. Suguro. I watched the anime. Looks like a delinquent but is very capable and skilled. He's very interesting to me, and I like his role in the story. His dynamic with the characters, especially Rin, is my favorite. Death Note. L. Nobody is surprised, he's a phenomenal character. I like him because of the ways he goes about things, his thought process and general role in the story. He's always had me curious and on edge to what he was going to do next. I've read the manga and watched the anime. Haikyuu. Bokuto. I've watched majority of the anime and some of the manga. I want to start reading it again. I like his personality a lot. It's very funny and charming. I like a character who calls themselves the best and then can back it up with actions. His design is freaking gorgeous. I love his build, the outfits he wears, especially his knee pads. His hair and eyes are very cool. Goofy little owl guy. I love him. His story really got to me, and he's very dear to my heart. Bleach, Grimjo. My literal namesake. He's where I got my entire online identity from. I've read the manga and watched the anime, as well as have an art book. Tite Kubo is definitely a notable influence for me. I love everything about Grimjo. He's the default to what I like in characters. Intriguing design, significant role in the story that forces the main character to act, a cool personality that usually clashes with the others, awesome powers, not to mention his voice actor. He was my first full-on favorite character. Before him, my favorite character was Renji Abarai, who is still in my top 3, but Grimjo just smacked me like a freight train. He's such a menace and I love him dearly. My Hero Academia. Endeavor.
Let me tell you something. All right. Let me tell you something.
Remember when I said I don't see the characters as real life people? This right now is a prime example of that. I've read the entirety of the manga so far and watched most of the anime. I know, I get it. Please don't scream at me. I adore Endeavor because he is the peak of damaged, heavily flawed character. But on top of that, he goes through major story arcs and character development. Horikoshi is absolutely spoiling me. I love so much about Enji's character. Even when I knew he was an absolute asshole when he was first introduced, his design alone had me shook. He's huge. His quirk is awesome. He has red hair and blue eyes. Doesn't matter the context, I am going to be smitten. But on top of that, what always intrigued me is that he's a terrible father, but somehow the number 2 hero? He's incredibly successful, skilled, and reliable when it comes to his job, even though he's terrible at the celebrity side of the job. Yet he's amazing at the saving people and stopping villain side of the job. This contrast is absolutely fascinating. Horikoshi really got my attention when he wrote, story-wise, he's basically a terrible father, but that he hoped to show why in the story. That told me that Enji had some nuance to him, and boy, does he. I could literally go on for hours about why Enji is such a fantastically written character. Him realizing that he's the problem and wanting to atone for his actions, yet never asking for forgiveness. Being the only character that listens to all of Midoriya's ramblings, understands him and is a great teacher to him, taking responsibility for his actions and their consequences, taking on the hero society's burdens alone as number 1 during the war, his backstory and how that impacted him throughout his life, his insecurities, the fact that he is the way he is because he's always been alone, meaning that if he had had somebody like Midoriya in his childhood to save him, he wouldn't have turned out the way he did. Also, that he's incredibly socially dense. intense, just like Shoto, and so much more. I adore the way he's written, his role in the story as a cautionary tale to chasing power, the fact that a dad character like him actively seeks to atone, apologizes, and is making active changes to be better. I love the entirety of the Todoroki family and their story, all the individuals in there. It's fascinating, it's complicated, it's nuanced. I love it a lot. And I love Enji. He's very important to me. Would I like him as a person? Depends, probably not. But as a character, absolutely. I love him very much. As you can tell, I very much could go on for a long time about Enji. He's a fascinating character with some of my favorite writing. So yeah, I love me an asshole character who gains self-awareness, realizes his actions, and works on improve himself. Majority of my own original characters have those sorts of character development, so I'm pretty weak for them. And that's it. Hope you enjoyed it. Maybe in the future, I might do something like that again, since it's nice to do something different once in a while. I'm thinking that I can do, you know, different shows that haven't been written here before, like Attack on Titan or Naruto or something like that. And maybe if I do end up watching some of the shows that I hadn't watched yet, maybe my opinions on who my favorite character would be has changed. So who knows? Could be a fun sort of like little compare and contrast, you know? If I watch Inuyasha and then actually ends up at, you know, Sukatsu is not my favorite character, we'll see. Maybe I can do this again. Again, a reminder, please be civil in the comments. Remember, this is all for fun. Stories are meant to be fun and entertaining and an escapism. You're allowed to enjoy yourself and have fun. So if you saw an opinion you didn't like from me, tough luck, you're gonna meet more of those. So, you know, use your critical thinking. Be nice in the comments, guys. I know some of you can be aggressively reactionary and passionate to certain opinions. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. If at the very least, even if you didn't like my takes on it, I hope you enjoyed the art. And if not, well, I'm sorry. Before I end the video, I just want to say thank you to my channel members. Melahai, Peppermints, Kunara Star, Kristen Wilson, Eleanor, Obsidian Eyes, Tammy, Danger Noodle, Four Eyes, Nix the Raven, Lady Gwen 88, Alvex Arts, Rosalia Gaming, Popcorn Detective 04, Melon Comics, Victory, Halliday 316, Kurotsuki, Vulcan Burst, Kirby Knight, Buttercup, Gay Trash, Hatsui Kaz, Mr. Zv, Phaedre Dixon, and Egg. Thank you so much for your support, and thank you for watching the video. I'll see you next time. Bye bye!